Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is so wonderful to be with you on this joyful day. I would like to welcome our families and guests, Board President Gaither Smoot-Deaton, our trustees, Imam Mohammed Majid, keynote speaker Rear Admiral Estella Jones, Madeira faculty and students, and especially the class of 2021. We are delighted to be able to celebrate and gather with you in person. Today, we are going to begin our celebration with an invocation by Imam Mohammed Majid, Executive Imam of the Al Dulles Area Muslim Society, Chairman of the International Interfaith Peace Corps, and father of graduate Salima Haj Majid. Please welcome the Imam.
Oh, our Lord, we thank you for bringing us together for this celebration of the Madeira School graduating class 2021. We thank you, God, for allowing us to meet in person in this very beautiful morning. As this pandemic, God willing, is coming to an end here in the United States, we pray for those who couldn't be here with us today, and continue to pray for the healing of the world and our nation. May God honor those who have cared for us in this critical time. We thank God for the institution of the Madeira School, for its staff, its faculty, and his administration, and the leadership that helped to make this great moment of achievement possible. We thank you, God, for the dedication of the parents and the family who helped these children to walk this path of learning. We ask you, God, to make today another beginning in the journey of many achievements. We ask you to gift every graduate a mind that continues to explore, learn, and to pursue the quest of knowledge for the rest of their lives. We ask you to bless them each with the path of headful of possibilities and opportunities so that they may live a very fulfilling life. Give them patience through challenging times and help them to overcome those challenges. Give them the wisdom so they may make the right choices. Give them compassion and courage so they may serve those who are the most vulnerable among us. Oh God, we ask you to make this joyful occasion full of blessing of our graduates, of their families, for the Madeira communities, of his staff and teachers. We ask you to accept our prayers this morning with our best wishes for our beloved graduates. May God bless all of you. May God bless this ceremony and all of us who gathered here today to witness this wonderful occasion. Amen.
Please stand for the national anthem.
Good morning. I would first very much like to thank all of the families and parents gathered here today for sharing these remarkable seniors with us. I know the challenges, the support, and the dedication, and the sacrifices that go into raising and educating children and teenagers these days. I know that because my parents did it, and they were dealt a handful. And my husband and I are currently raising two teenage boys. Graduation is an accomplishment. And so I applaud you today too. I am grateful for your effort, for your commitment, and all that you have done to get our gals to this milestone. I recognize your excitement and your joy, and I join in the celebration with you. As chair of the board, it is my honor to congratulate the class of 2021 on your commencement from this beloved institution. You've had more to endure than most, and you serve as resilient role models to the classes that preceded you and to those that will follow you. You have set the bar high, and I hope you will enjoy all the credit that you are due today. While the board's role is that of oversight, we can never lose sight of why we do what we do. We want Madeira to continue what it has done for the last 115 years, educating young women who in turn make society and the world a better place. It seems like not that long ago that I sat where you are now. I was so proud of my classmates and their accomplishments, comfortable in a setting that challenged me to be my best, most authentic self, and sentimental about this place and the people around me, my family, my friends, my teachers, my coaches, my community. Hard to believe it's been 33 years, and yet I am still overcome with the same emotions and nostalgia. As an alum, I can share with those who don't know some of the deep-rooted traditions that have stood the test of time at Madeira. We carry 13 red roses when we graduate because there were 13 boarding students in Madeira's original first class. Since 1929, when the school moved from its original home in by DuPont Circle in Washington out here to Virginia, the girls have worn white attire for graduation. There's also the tradition of class rings. Madeira rings have been a part of this school's culture since long before I came on the scene. When you first get your ring, you point the rays of sunburst towards you so that you soak in the light of learning. When you graduate, you can flip the ring so that you share the light of learning with the rest of the world. We've also had some less formal traditions that may have evolved over time. I think you might still have them, I'm not sure. In my time, there was a pretty irreverent group and their tryouts, so it was somewhat official. But this group would show up at mixers and in outrageous outfits with water guns, hoping to pluck an unsuspecting couple out of the bushes. Indeed, they were called Bush Patrol. We thought they were cool. I should say we thought we were cool. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Olivia Carnot's mother, Brooke, was a proud member. And who would have thought that the head of Bush Patrol would go on to one day be head of the board? Miracles never cease. Another fond memory is a tradition we had called Alumni Senior Dinner, which was held during the last week of school. I think it's evolved and maybe just called Senior Dinner and maybe a little bit different now. But at mine, I sat beside a much older alum. She was 25. She seemed way old to me. Her name was Ann Gamble, and she not only became my co-chair for several years on the board, she became one of my closest friends and confidants. That has been one of the greatest gifts of this school. Through my involvement with Madeira after graduation, my best friends are no longer just my classmates. They are alums of all ages. Their dads, their parents, their staff, they're even heads of school. The community is and continues to be a gift to me, the community of Madeira, that is. At that same dinner, my history teacher came to me and said something that I've never forgotten. She held me by the shoulders and said, "This is your home now. You can always come back." So I offer to you on this jubilant day, as you venture forth to new endeavors, adventures, and beginnings, your school, your Madeira family will always be here to celebrate your successes and to ease your disappointments. You can always come back to this place. You have given us your best, and you have made us proud. For that, we thank you. And in the words of former head of school Charlie Saltzman, good luck and Godspeed. It is now my pleasure to introduce Madeira's extraordinary head of school, Gretchen Warner.
Good morning again. I am Gretchen Warner, and I have the honor and the privilege to serve the intrepid, curious, and connected class of 2021, as well as the full Madeira community as head of school. This morning, I welcome each of our families, friends, distinguished guests, and thank everyone for joining us today as we recognize the outstanding accomplishments of the class of 2021. First, I would like to share some immense gratitude. To the Board of Trustees, only a few are here because today, well, we have the challenging landscape of COVID, but we are profoundly grateful to our trustees. We are blessed that they so generously share their time, talent, and resources to make sure our current students and generations of Madeira students to come have the best education possible. They protect and preserve Madeira's mission, and we are grateful for their leadership. Thank you to Gaither Smoot-Deaton, class of 1988 and captain of Bush Patrol, for her strong leadership on the Board of Trustees in such an unusual year. Parents, oh parents, thank you. Thank you for entrusting your daughter's education to Madeira. You have set her up for a lifetime of connections and opportunities. On behalf of all our faculty and staff, we are grateful for your confidence in our mission and in our program. We do not reach this point in any academic year without reflecting on the extraordinary partnership that is needed between you and Madeira to launch these graduates into the ever-changing world. Thank you. Now, class of 2021, your parents had very good judgment to send you to Madeira, so would you please join me in giving your parents a huge round of applause. To our grandparents who are here, we know that families are complex systems of support and love, and we know how many grandparents have been a part of the lives of our students. We are grateful for you and your extended support and mentorship of our students. Our alumni, to all of our alumni and alumni who are here today or are watching on the live stream, thank you for being here in support of the launch of the class of 2021. You may remember and reflect on how important this day was to represent the next era of your life beyond high school, and we're so grateful for your involvement with Madeira and these graduates. Faculty and staff, at this time, I ask everyone to join me in acknowledging the extraordinary educators at Madeira who have joined us today to share in the celebration of this class. We know that our faculty and staff are the change makers and dedicated professionals who have committed themselves fully to the education of Madeira students, not only this year, but every year. And Madeira would not be the incredible institution that we are without the steadfast dedication of these professionals. Before we continue, I ask that everyone join me in observing a moment of silence to remember those who are not with us today, whether it be a classmate, a friend, a teacher, or a family member. This moment of reflection and remembrance will allow us to include those who aren't here with us as part of today's celebration. And now, welcome each of you, the Madeira graduates of 2021. I stand before you with profound gratitude and awe. You have been a positive, passionate, and kind class of extraordinarily hardworking young adults under incredibly challenging circumstances. You have had a deep impact on this school and our community. And we're so proud of everything you have done, not only for yourselves, your school, but the broader Madeira community. In 1906, Lucy Madeira founded her school with the belief that it is our duty and our privilege to help young women to understand their changing world and to have confidence to live the lives of their own making, their own passions, and their own dreams. Supporting students to understand their changing world has been relevant every year since 1906, and yet perhaps this year it might be particularly salient. There were both challenges and opportunities this year, and the class of 2021 truly rose to every one of them with eagerness to make this a year of meaningful connections rooted in relationships. You know I'm a scientist, and you know I go to research. And there is research about how people and schools can build and teach resilience as the result of a crisis, like a global pandemic. And the more I read this research, the more I saw the class of 2021 intentionally or unintentionally put these research-based strategies into action. Research-based strategy number 1 to build resilience: calm the mind and practice being in the moment. Whether that was in a processing group discussing a challenging topic, or cheering on friends at the epic Raw finale on the turf field at the end of the year, the class of 2021 practiced being in the moment. Research-based strategy number 2 to build resilience: look out the window and get involved. The class of 2021 was mightily involved this year with every aspect of school life and school leadership. They did not sit idle and watch the year take place in front of them. They took life by the lapels and contributed in so many ways. Research-based strategy number 3 to build resilience: connect with people through compassion. You may have noticed, but there's a lot of anger in the world today. But the Madeira class of 2021 demonstrated kindness and compassion to each other, to younger students, and to our community at large. Madeira, your graduating class of 2021 is resilient and strong. As I've been diving into other research this spring about what the future world and what the future of work will look like for the class of 2021, there are common themes and vocabulary words that emerge: collaboration, strategy, navigation, reflection, change, agility, artificial intelligence, climate, equity, access. We are in a moment of defining the new normal with all of the silver lining lessons of the pandemic and these themes in mind. And I'm proud that the class of 2021 has helped us to define this new normal with connection, relationships, empathy, and curiosity. While Miss Madeira focused on personal best, and our students have practiced that value, I must share some of the many, many accomplishments of the Madeira class of 2021. First and foremost, each of our graduates have completed a course of study that was designed to prepare them for a life of purpose after high school, whether that is in continuation of their education in college and beyond, the start of a career, and in the lives as an active community member and citizen who strive to make our world a better place. The graduates in the class of 2021 did not have a typical course of study. No. Their academic program was much more than just a collection of classes. These graduates were given choices in their education to create a learning plan that was aligned with their interests and curiosity. Each one of these graduates has completed complex in-person and virtual immersive internships as part of co-curriculum, with each experience designed to give them opportunities to learn new skills and apply new concepts to novel situations. Through their coursework, they made deep and meaningful connections between high-quality learning experiences, and they demonstrated mastery within disciplines. The Madeira class of 2021 has student leaders in spirit, student leaders in community and residential life, community and student leaders in government, student leaders in diversity, equity, inclusivity, and justice, student leaders in community service, student leaders in affinity and alliance clubs, student leaders in advocacy clubs, student leaders in admissions, and the breadth and passion and skills in this class are wide-ranging. This class has talented visual artists, musicians, actors, dancers, gifted and hardworking athletes, dedicated writers, journalists, and poets. And after today, the Madeira class of 2021 will scatter far and wide. Our 89 graduates have chosen 60 different destinations for college. The students will fan out to 21 states, including the District of Columbia, as well as 2 countries. 11 of our graduates will head to New York, 10 will stay in Virginia, 10 will go to Massachusetts, 8 to both Georgia and California. 2 of our students will continue to study at HBCUs, and 4 of our graduates will continue on to study at women's institutions. And our graduates will study in diverse topics and areas. 6 of the students in the class of 2021 intend to study arts or arts education. 6 intend to study communications. 6 intend to study social science, including psychology and anthropology. 7 of the students in this class intend to study history, English, philosophy, or other humanities. 10 of the students intend to study business. 15 intend to study poli-sci or international relations. 24 of our students intend to study STEM, medicine, or public health. 24 remain curious about what will speak to them as they further their education. And 4 of our student athletes will go on to play at the collegiate level. While Madeira, yeah, woo! I'll take that woo. And while Madeira does not have an honors distinction, it is worth noting that 12 of the students in this graduating class were admitted to honors colleges within larger institutions. Class of 2021, we are here to celebrate you. Everyone gathered under this tent is here because they have a deep commitment to your past, your present, and your future. The people next to you and all the eyes on you are a part of your network, here to help you as you launch into the world in need of changing. Cherish and expand on what you've learned at Madeira, what you love, and who you've become. Be wise, take care of yourself, and be true to your roots. As you leave campus today, know that we are so proud of you and we believe in you. No matter where life takes you, you will forever be a Madeira graduate. Congratulations to each of you, and congratulations to the class of 2021. Each year, the members of the senior class elect a student speaker to represent them at commencement. I am pleased to introduce Salima Hajmajid, a 4-year day student from Sterling, Virginia. A member of the white team, Salima embodies the creative spirit of Madeira. She is a poet, an actor, and an advocate. Salima served for 2 years as the co-head of diversity and inclusion and has cherished every opportunity at Madeira to combine her love of diversity work and the arts. Salima is an accomplished poet who believes in the power of vulnerability and storytelling. She has generously shared her art through performance. Her portrayal of Marianne Dashwood in Sense and Sensibility last fall stands out among her fondest Madeira memories, and ours too. Next year, Salima will attend Howard University in Washington, D.C., where she plans to study fashion and creative writing. Please help me in welcoming Salima.
We are each measured by the matter we are composed of. Our success, happiness, and capabilities are often calculated by assessing the potential of our bodies, minds, and hearts. The class of 2021 is no different. When I look at the matter of this class, it's hard to measure just how much potential each person sitting here brings to it. This is a group of students who have accomplished every type of achievement and accolade you can think of, come from all different areas of the globe, and have interests and talents in any field you can imagine. And I feel honored to be able to represent this incredible group of people today. My time with my classmates over the last 4 years has been filled with personal improvement, leadership skill building, creative and academic development, and so much more. Not only have we pushed each other to be the best students we could be, but we've also encouraged each other to have fun, to take care of ourselves, and speak up for what we believe in. That has been my most valued lesson at Madeira. learning to speak up for what I believe in, what I need, and what I'm curious about. My classmates have continued to gather as leaders and scholars, ready to turn thoughts and ideas into actions and change. Being supported by people who are intellectual, capable, and altogether brilliant has pushed me to be a better leader, student, friend, and a better individual who cares for those around her and herself. We have grown to be ambitious and passionate, self-assured, and wonderful. As my father would say, if we don't have an attitude of gratitude on this day, then our focus is misplaced. There are many people who have been integral to helping the class of 2021 arrive to this stage. First, we would like to thank our parents and families that have emotionally, financially, and holistically supported us to pursue a Madeira education. You all have been our greatest applauders. We all would like to sincerely thank you. Next, I believe it is obvious to say that completing a Madeira education would not be possible without the pillars of this institution. Our diligent administration, our passionate head of school, Ms. Warner, our committed board of trustees, and our supportive alumni. Thank you for your abundant generosity, your precision and focus in your service, and your continued dedication to improving Madeira every year for the sake of each of our experiences. Undoubtedly, my classmates and I would not be successful without the efforts of our security department, the dining hall staff, the cleaning staff, our athletic coaches and Madeira busette drivers, the facilities team, the nurses, the counselors, and so many more. We cannot thank you enough for keeping us safe and healthy, comfortable and comforted. Now, we would like to take a few minutes to address the most fundamental members of the Madeira community who have influenced our high school education, our teachers. If there's any teachers in the audience, can you just stand up real quick so we can give you a round of applause? These individuals not only have academically developed us, but they also have equipped the class of 2021 with the necessary skills that we need to function, be productive, and be passionate for the rest of our lives. Our math teachers have taught us that problems have patterns, and that those patterns lend themselves to helping us learn how to solve and figure out new problems before we let them overwhelm us. Our science teachers have shaped us to understand that the world is deeply complex, and it always will be, from a cell to climate change. But when we understand that we are all made of the same matter and experience the same world, discovery and curiosity don't seem so isolating. Our foreign language teachers have taught us that we are global citizens who should strive to know the world in the best way that we can. Our history teachers have taught us that our past directly influences our present, and that understanding those that came before us allows us to prepare to be who we want to be in the future. Our art teachers have taught us that expression and creativity are essential tools for storytelling, something we all do every day, whether we know it or not. And our English teachers have taught us that the words we learn, understand, read, and speak are the monuments of our lives, that everything we know culminates in this concept. We must understand the words others have said in other times so that we may learn how to use our right words at the right time, and in doing so, define our very existence. The class of 2021 is energetic, loves drinking sparkling water in the senior clubhouse, spends too much time on TikTok, and can get carried away with prank ideas very quickly. I'm looking at you, Sarah, okay? But our identity as a class boils down to one real fact. We care for each other so much. That care and support that we have had for each other is what allows us to receive our diplomas today. We are all, myself primarily, without a doubt, so incredibly proud of each other for what we have accomplished and eager to witness what we will continue to accomplish in the years to come. We love this class. We love our teachers. We love Madeira and we love our families. Thank you again to you all. And now, I am pleased to introduce a beloved classmate of mine, Avery Tyrell, a four-year senior day student from Leesburg, Virginia.
Good morning to my fellow Madeira seniors, to faculty and staff, to parents, family, and friends, and to distinguished guests. My name is Avery Tyrell. I'm a four-year senior day student from Leesburg, Virginia, and it is my honor to introduce our guest speaker, Rear Admiral Estella Jones. She serves in the United States Public Health Service as an Assistant Surgeon General. She also serves as the Deputy Director of the Office of Counterterrorism and Emerging Threats, which is part of the Food and Drug Administration. In that role, she provides strategic direction on programs that continually combat global health threats. Rear Admiral Jones is the first female Black veterinarian to achieve this rank in the U.S. Public Health Service, which is equivalent to the rank of Brigadier General in other uniformed services. Among her many accomplishments and appointments, Dr. Jones held a dual faculty role at Houston Baylor's College of Medicine in both comparative medicine and anesthesiology. At Baylor, she worked with the famed late heart surgeon, Dr. Michael DeBakey, who pioneered many cardiac surgical innovations. In addition, Rear Admiral Jones maintains her clinical and surgical skills by working as a relief veterinarian in the Northern Virginia area. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Animal and Poultry Sciences at Tuskegee University in Alabama, and then went on to earn her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine at Louisiana State University. While I have known Dr. Jones as a veterinarian like my dad and as our neighbor, I didn't know until recently that she also graduated from an all-girls high school similar to Madeira called the Emma Willard School for Girls in Troy, New York. Recently, she was awarded by the Emma Willard Alumni Association the 2021 Career Achievement Award, an honor given to an alumna who has made significant contributions in her career. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce Rear Admiral Estella Jones.
Thank you. I wanted to remove my mask to tell you the year that I graduated from Emma Willard, and that would be 1976. It wasn't quite as far as Noah's Ark, but it was a while ago. One of the traditions that make me feel so at home today is the white dress that you are wearing today and carrying red roses. However, we carried one single red rose, and that tradition continues at Emma Willard today. So I'm not here to read prepared marks to you because I know that you already have the platitudes. I can look out at this audience and just see the thrill in your faces, and I can almost feel your hearts pounding because this is the day that you've been waiting for. You're waiting to throw that rose in the air, right? So there are some things that I would like you to know before I get started and tell my story, and maybe my story may touch your heart and you can take something away that you will have in your adult life that you can always look back on. And let me also say, because you have such a wonderful support system here, I am sure that any of these people, your friends, your headmasters, your deans, your faculty, They would not mind if you reached back when you need them, because there will be moments when you will feel like you need them. Pick up the phone, give them a call, send them a text, send them a TikTok, okay? It will be helpful. So right now is your time. It is the time of the woman. Women are leading in roles like never before. It's okay to be a strong leader and to be followed. It's okay to be a strong woman, an intelligent woman, which you are. You've shown that it takes what you have to move forward, what you need in the world. You've already shown that. But you will come across some challenging times, and I want you to be equipped for your challenges, just like you're equipped for the good days ahead of you. My story is a very humble beginning. I was born into poverty. I was raised in Columbus, Ohio, originally from San Bernardino, California. My parents split when I was a baby. My father was an Air Force general's aide, and he was born into a time where he could not vote by virtue of the color of his skin. My mother left with her 3 babies and moved to Columbus, Ohio when they split. Some of you may be the product of a split home, but it doesn't split your heart, and it doesn't split your responsibilities and your intelligence in any way. I knew from the time that I was 4 years old I wanted to be a veterinarian. I had no idea what veterinarians did back then, no idea. And I had never seen a veterinarian that looked like myself. But in my mind, that's what I wanted to do. So as a child, I was placed in a school system that was built for 700 students, which is large compared to your school, 324, I believe. But the school was populated with about 1,700 students. So I was destined to fail by some interpretations. These students were placed over here. The school was substandard and falling apart. The teachers just felt if they could flock us into a classroom and keep us quiet for an hour, that was their role for education. I did run into one teacher when I was in the 7th grade, and by the way, back then we called it junior high school. You probably don't know what that means. Junior high school, grades 7 through 9, and you didn't go to high school until you were in 10th grade then. I ran into a teacher who saw my potential, who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. My parents were wonderful. My mom remarried, and I was raised by a blended family like the Brady Bunch, but a lot poorer. There were 9 of us living in a 4-bedroom house, very small bedrooms with 1.5 baths. So you learn to be patient in that environment, 1.5 bath, because somebody was always in the bathroom when you had to go, right? So we were poor, but we were not poor in spirit. My parents were hardworking. My dad was a GS4 in government, which back then meant that he made $4,000 a year. How do you support a family of 9 on $4,000 a year? I'll never know. I'm sure some graduation dresses cost that now. My mom scrubbed floors for a living. They called that day's work. She bought a piano very cheaply from one of the ladies that she did day's work for, and she resanded it and finished it and put it in our living room so we could learn how to play the piano. So she quickly decided that my 3 sisters needed lessons and I was too young to play. So I would just sit and listen to my sisters play, and one day she came down the stairs and I was sitting there, maybe I was 7 at the time, and I was playing the theme from Dr. Zhivago, which was her favorite song. That's Somewhere My Love, if you've heard that song before. And she stopped and she said, wow, I didn't know that you could play. And I said, Mom, I've just been listening to this music from my sisters practicing, and I felt that I could play it without the music. I'd sit there with the music, but I didn't know what I was looking at, but I could hear it. She decided, I will scrub floors more so this child can take piano lessons. And that's what she did. That's the love that she had for me. I don't know very many people who would do that, because scrubbing floors is hard work. She did that. She sacrificed for me. So as I grew up and I met this teacher, and I was right at that age where I was at the crossroad. I could have gone left, I could have gone right. You've always heard that the road least traveled is the road you want to travel, and that's so true. Think about that in life. You really don't want to go with the crowd, because sometimes the crowd is going to take you places that you don't want to go. So at this point in my life, this teacher noticed me, and he was teaching English at the time. Now, I didn't know our teachers at the time were only 15 years older than we were. A lot of them were new graduates. They didn't want to work in that public school system, but a lot of the teachers, that's the only place they could get a job. This teacher was extremely dedicated. He saw my potential, and he said, I really want you to get serious about my class. I was not serious. I was in the hall chewing gum, talking to my friends, actually. And you know what? He threatened me with my grade, which really terrified me, because my parents were no nonsense when it came to grades. So I began to pay attention to this teacher. He told me his story. He was from North Carolina. I said, what made you major in English? He said, well, when I was 4 years old, I had the chance to meet my great-great-grandfather, who was a slave. Slaves were not allowed to read. It was a crime to teach a slave to read. So at the time, he decided, I want to major in English, and I'm going to go to a big university. The big universities turned him down. He had a teacher tell him, you will never be an English major. You need to think about majoring in a trade. Use your hands. He proved them wrong. He eventually went to Ohio State, the Ohio State University, and received his PhD in English. So overcoming all of that adversity, he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So he began to take me and other students, with the permission of our parents, to an East Side community center where the children were even poorer than we were. Next thing I knew, I was tutoring kids who had no parent present in the home. I was tutoring them math and science. Some of these little girls hadn't had their hair combed in weeks. I would go in and braid their hair and comb their hair, and they were so grateful. They ate at that community center, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that really touched my heart and made me feel grateful for the home that I had, for the loving parents that I had, even though my mom would serve us meals that I wasn't too crazy about, and I would try to slip it to the dog, and the dog wouldn't even eat it. So this teacher, his name is Charles E. Tennant. He is now a recognized author with a book on Amazon that's required reading for certain public schools. He's also achieved something that no other teacher has achieved. He opened an Afrocentric school in Columbus, Ohio, grades K through 12, and he has a 99% graduation rate. So as I went on through the years, I did get a scholarship to Emma Willard. And I was grateful for that, but it was a whole new world for me, and a world that I will never forget, lasting friendships I have until this day. As a matter of fact, we're having our virtual reunion in June. And even students that I really didn't know that well have reached out to me. We've reached out to each other from certain events in our lives that we've shared, and we've become friends. So look around you, because you will be friends with people that you never really clicked with or thought that you clicked with. Your friendship will be lasting from the days that you've had activities here and shared warmth and common activities in your life. So I want to also tell you that my path was not straightforward. I didn't just go from Emma Willard, the name Emma Willard, to college, the college of my choice. Even though I was accepted into 6 different colleges, I chose to go to a little tiny HBCU in Alabama. There, I wanted to major in veterinary medicine. I kept my dream in my heart. I want to be a veterinarian. The other schools didn't have an undergraduate program in veterinary medicine. Even then, I left school at the age of 23 to get married and move to Louisiana. Oh, my dream was gone. Then I had my daughter at the age of 25. I was working with a bachelor's degree, no school in sight at that point, and I accepted a job that I tested into as a meat inspector in Louisiana. Can you imagine? Now I'm living my dream, I'm a meat inspector, okay? I walk into the interview. I know that I was high on their list, and at the time, there was no such thing as women's rights or sexual harassment. I walked into a room filled with men. They all looked at me and said, "You're a woman, we need a slaughter inspector. Women can't go in the slaughterhouse without getting sick. You'll go in there your first day, there'll be so much blood you'll quit." They actually told me that. I said, "Nope, I can handle it. I want the job." So they looked at each other. They had a plan for me, right? They said, "Okay, show up, you have the job. Show up 7 a.m., Angola prison. High security, maximum security prison in Louisiana." They said, we'll train you there and we'll see how you do." So this was their effort to push me out. They said, "We've never had a woman make it through the slaughter inspection program." I was determined. That made me more determined. Even though this was a job I really didn't want, Who wants to do that? Slaughter inspector at that. So I walk into the slaughterhouse the first day. There's armed guards on a rail around the entire kill floor because the prisoners on the floor all had knives, very sharp knives. So if anything happened, they had their guns drawn and ready to act. I walked in terrified. Do you think I showed it on my face? Absolutely not. I walked in there in my best slacks, blood splashing everywhere. I would never get those stains out. But that was my first job. So it was actually at the slaughterhouse that I met the staff from LSU. And they said, "Wow, you know a lot about anatomy, and you are just giving us the organs that we need." I was dissecting the bile ducts in the liver. That was a great thing to me, and finding liver flukes. So I was counting liver flukes for them and not passing cattle that didn't meet the health requirements to qualify as meats. And one of the instructors said, "You know what? You should apply to the veterinary school at LSU. We could really use a parasitologist, and you seem to know your anatomy and parasitology." That was my route into vet school. Remember, I had a small child. I started vet school when my daughter was a toddler. Have any of you babysat for toddlers lately? My daughter was wonderful, though. She started reading at the age of 3 because she was around me, and she thought that's what you did in your spare time is read. She's now a beautiful grown woman at the age of 33. I'm 37, sorry. I make her younger so I can seem younger. She's 37. And she owns her own business in Tyson's Corner. She's been a huge success. And I'd like to think that I gave her the foundations of determination and learning to dream. So lastly, I put together 13 principles to recognize your 13 roses, because you're a rose and you're special. You're just as special and more special than each rose that you're carrying. So if you can count your roses while I read these 13 principles to match the 13 original Madeira graduates. And let me just say, the number 13 does not carry a negative connotation. I don't even know where that came from, some superstition, but it's a beautiful number. It represents all of your beauty today. Principle number 1, to match your first rose. Trust your instincts. Everybody has an instinct, particularly when you feel something's not right. If your instinct is telling you it's not right, run. And that's all I can say, because what also happened to me my first year in college, and I was 17 when I went to college, didn't know a thing about college life. I was very educated because Emma Willard saw to it that I got a really good education. But as far as starting to interact with the opposite sex, when you go to a girls' school, it's advantageous because we know that you perform higher when it's a single-sex education. You don't have the distractions, right? You get to college, there's all kinds of distractions. So when I say be safe, trust your instincts, I was in a situation as a freshman where I was almost raped by a man in his 40s. I put myself in a situation where my instincts were telling me this is not a good situation. My friends left me there, and I was almost raped. I lived to tell about it. Number 2, don't be too hard on yourself. You will make mistakes, but learn to turn the page. Don't dwell on what you were, because you're not that. You're learning. You're taking new steps. You're taking new adventures. So don't punish yourself for past mistakes. You can get past those. Number 3, allow this time to discover who you are and what you want. Some of you may be going to college and you're not really sure that you want to choose that major. That's okay. Your life is going to expand in so many directions. I finished veterinary school. I had no idea what a public health service veterinarian did, let alone be able to dream of achieving the rank of general or rear admiral. Did you know that Dr. Fauci wore this uniform? He's a retired admiral in the public health service. And a lot of you have heard of Dr. Fauci. I get to work with that group now. Number 4, don't succumb to society or peer pressures. And that means when it comes to your career, someone else may have a career that they want for you, and you know what you want. Your heart knows what you want. Follow your heart, follow your dreams. I can't say enough about that. Don't succumb to dating pressures. Hey, you have your whole life ahead of you. Dates will be there, trust me. They'll be there in abundance. You don't have to focus on that right now. I know a lot of parents are glad I said that, right? The parents are clapping. The girls, not so much. Number 5, have a healthy respect for the body that you live in. Have a harmonious relationship with your body. And that means when you put substances in it, you'll be pressured to drink. You'll be pressured if you're legal age. Don't fall for that. You need a harmonious relationship with your body. You need to be in control of it all the time. Just remember that. That's your 5th rose. Your 6th rose. Self-care is not selfish. You have a lot of pressures on you. As high school students, I already know you're high achievers. A lot of pressure to make A's, to be number 1. It's okay if you're not number 1. Know in your heart that you're trying your hardest. If you need to do things to improve, take that opportunity. Also take the opportunity to have time for yourself. Take some downtime. Number 7, the world is filled with awful, heartbreaking things, but also with beauty. And guess what? That beauty can mend your heart. Number 8, life will offer great despair, but also great hope. And I might as well do number 9 since we're talking about the downers. Number 9, you'll have crushing failures. but also soaring victories. I can tell you my story of that. I lost my father to COVID in March of this year. We're coming to a close, hopefully, of one of the world's worst pandemics in 100 years. I work in vaccine countermeasures, and I couldn't save my own father. That's a crushing blow. But you know what? That same guy who was a general's aide lived to see me put this uniform on a year and a half ago. He was so proud of me, and that made my heart soar. That made his heart soar. Number 10, setbacks set the stage for comebacks. You don't know what failure is unless you fail and then you come back. A comeback is great. How do you think I felt as a slaughter inspector who had to actually duck from a bull one time who got up off the slaughter floor and was looking for revenge? So, I know, it's a 2,000-pound bull. I was the first one out the door. Number 11, believe in your DNA. Remember, you have unique DNA. There is no other person on this earth like you. Your dreams, your faith, your hope is in your head. How many times have you had a dream that you shared with someone, maybe a friend that you thought was a close friend, and they shot it down instantly? That won't work because whatever, dreams splattered on the floor, right? How many times have you had that happen already? You know why they can't see your dream? Because it's in your head. Their dreams are in their head. Their DNA is unique for their dream. So don't be discouraged when people say you can't do that. Just think, if Elon Musk had listened to the Tesla naysayers, just think if you had bought stock in Tesla when it was $7 a share. That's a good example. Madeira has already given you the basic foundations that you can go out and soar. Just believe in yourself. Don't ever let anyone take that from you. Number 12, the present is where you lay the foundation for the future, your future. You have all the tools that you need to determine your future. Be fearless. Number 13, decide what you want your future to be, then become the change that makes it happen. I see that in all of you. Your wonderful speaker was able to convey that so eloquently. I am so proud of you all, and my heart is with your heart. Please don't forget to reach back. Even if you write me, call me, I will definitely respond. If you're in a state of despair, reach back. Someone always cares about you. Just remember that as you pursue your dreams and hopes and move forward. Congratulations, class of 2021. We are so proud of you. Thank you.
We are honored to award the diplomas earned by the class of 2021. We will begin by recognizing 7 seniors who are not with us in person today, but are here in spirit and in video. We will award diplomas in the tent. I am pleased to invite Madeira alumna, Dr. Brooke Stroud, to the stage to present her daughter's diploma. Olivia Marie Lila Carnot, Senior Class President, daughter of Brooke Stroud, Class of 1988. Catherine Tanner Moe, Senior Class President. Alexa Brielle Odeshi Ekelar, Head of Boarding. Gabrielle Rebecca Waxberg, Head of Day. Layla Christina White, Head of Judiciary. Grace Zoe Thomas, Co-Head of Community Service. Salima Zubayda Muhammad Hajmajid, Co-Head of Student Diversity and Inclusion, sister of Mona R. Hajmajid, Class of 2016, and Amani Mohammed Hajmajid, Class of 2019. Caitlin Victoria Alsina, Red Team Co-Captain. Michael J.L. Ingram Bailey, White Team Co-Captain. Ruvarashi Kendi Kiara, Red Team Co-Captain. Sarah Chioma Abara, Resident Assistant. Yes. Kyla Elizabeth Butler, Resident Assistant. Destiny Nicole McWilliams, Resident Assistant. Danielle Alexandria Dewar Peterkin, Resident Assistant. Julia Frances Skowronek, resident assistant. Ching Mei Chloe Zhang, resident assistant. Sister of Ga Mei Erica Zhang, class of 2014, and Ying Mei Leah Zhang, class of 2015. Zhang Ina, resident assistant. Hannah Miriam Aguinis. Farah Aladi. I am pleased to invite Madeira trustee, Ms. Cara Bell, to the stage to present. Oh my goodness, I'm not pleased to do that. My goodness. Hannah Elizabeth Arndt. I am pleased to invite Madeira trustee, Ms. Cara Bell, to the stage to present her daughter's diploma. Emily Kate Bell, daughter of Madeira trustee, Cara Bell. Caitlin Claire Bennett, sister of Madeline Duplay Bennett, class of 2016. Mallory Jane Bernstein. Anna Isabella Blackman. Charlotte Joan Blocker. Lydia Braliar Calabresi. I am pleased to invite Madeira alumna, Miss Virginia McNear Callahan, to the stage to present her daughter's diploma. Elizabeth Addison Callahan, daughter of Virginia McNear Callahan, class of 1984, sister of Mary Louise Callahan, class of 2016. Caroline Sarah Cassidy. Milena Grace Checky, sister of Carla Bonnie Checky, class of 2019. Jaren Jalon. Chen Xuyang. Adele Chang. Valentina Cuesta Callejas. Stella Rosalind Davis. Ishana Chantal De Silva. Tegan Hawks Dunbar. Emma Keonane Farron. Alexandria Omeria Farrington. Sophia Maria Friedman. Heston Friedrichs, sister of Mackenzie Grace Friedrichs, class of 2020. Grace Lyons Frula. Anna Claire Fry. Tessa Mary Ellen Glennon. Sydney Weiyu Gu. Riley Veronica Halloran. Amelie Greer Harrison. Simone Alana Hodge. Caroline Huber, sister of Danielle Huber Inbar, class of 2016. Elena Anna Yoakum. Halloran Layton Johnson. Karina Nicole Karp. Carolyn Alexia Keene. Layla Marie Kennington. I am pleased to invite Madeira alumna, Ms. Susanna Kondracki, to the stage to present her daughter's diploma. Catherine Alice Kondracki, daughter of Susanna B. Kondracki, class of 1985, niece of Lisa Lacey, class of 1988. Eileen Rachel Kruger. Audrey Elaine Lines, sister of Emily Caitlin Lines, class of 2017. Amelia Andrews Marshall. Alaka Mathiasen. Isabel Catherine McMillan. Olivia Nicole Minjak. Nundi Muchera. I am pleased to invite Madeira alumna Ms. Pilar Frank O'Leary to the stage to present her daughter's diploma. Carolina Pilar O'Leary, daughter of Pilar Frank O'Leary, class of 1987. Reagan Elizabeth Puryear. Rachel Elise Rifitel. Blue Roberts Gall. Eleni May Ruvelis. Rachel Elizabeth Rubin. Francesca Science, sister of Vanessa Science, class of 2018. Caroline Louise Shefflin. Megan Marie Schmitz. Liliana Hart Simmons, sister of Annabella Hart Simmons, class of 2019. Cecilia Pauline Skinner Grant. Annabelle Mary Stack. Mia Louise Stewart. Emma May Stone. Ella Brooke Stux. Anna Victoria Sullivan. Lily Rose Tannenbaum. Avery Lee Tyrell. Rachel Lee Vander Linden. Reese Carmen Villela. And Marie Elizabeth Zukova.
All right, just a couple of brief housekeeping announcements before we bring this ceremony to a conclusion. As a reminder, please do keep your masks on once the ceremony is done to keep with the county guidelines. Refreshments will be available in the tent, outside the tent behind you. And please feel free to walk to the Oval and to Main Bluff for pictures if you would like. I'd now like to ask Imam Majid to come back up and offer the benediction.
Oh God, we thank you as we conclude this beautiful ceremony. Thank you for each of our graduates, for their families, and each of their achievements. And the beginning of a new journey as a school, high school, now is over. And they move into a new phase of their lives. Thank you for this beautiful day, and this beautiful day. for the spirit of joy and celebration that we have all felt here today. We ask you to shower the class of 2021 with guidance, blessing, and protection. O God, grant each member of the class of 2021 an attitude of gratitude so that they may enjoy every day of their lives the lenses of appreciation and recognitions of the people around them who contributed to their success. I want to thank your class and the Madeira School for honoring me for the third time with the privilege to lead you in prayer today. Go Salima and all the members of Madeira class of 2021, may God bless and protect all of you. Live in peace.
All right, please stand for the alma mater.
Thank you.